think we got to be breaking some type of record on this episode. One, we back. Right? Clap it up for that. No, we are back.
Burly. I'm not calling this I'm a back.
Hey, look.
This is like proof of life. This is proof of life. This is proof of life for me. That's all it is.
It is 3 a.m. local time. And local time right now is Alicante, Spain. For Rhodesia and I. So one, has to be the latest podcast we've ever recorded. 3 a.m. Really haven't been to sleep. I got a couple hours today. I did. We got here today. Welcome to TFW Podcast. That's freaking wrestling.
Hey, hey.
But crazy 24 hours, crazy 29-day period. Just craziness. He should be popping on soon, for sure. He's got some situations, so he said he's trying to get on now, which is a fantastic thing. But we are alive and well.
Proof of life. This is what this
Rhodesia,
video
I think
is.
you got what, like an hour and a half of sleep?
Early.
In the last 30 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I know I had an hour and a half of sleep at hour 26. And I was on the plane.
Yeah, so we went to Iceland. We had a connector to Iceland. And of course, when Matt was booking it and all, I'm like, Iceland, that's a pretty like drastic place to go to. Like that's like on a whole nother level of this planet. We get there, and from the moment that right before we landed, my whole leg and back started aching. I was in like so much like, I don't even want to say energetic pain, but it was just different. And in a lot of the airports outside of the United States, your plane drops you off like kind of like on the runway per se, and a bus will take you to the actual terminal. And this rain was coming in sideways, got me in my ear. Hopefully I don't get an ear infection from it. But point is, it's like, what, 25 or 35 degrees, raining, cold, and just dreary. And
now the one was when we were actually getting ready to land. And it wasn't raining. Everything was fine. And then it just started pouring. All you saw was precipitation.
It looked like almost like a movie set, like fake rain.
I was like, okay, so
like I was an episode of Langoliers.
You be able to land this thing?
But for sure. And then when he landed, he kind of skidded. I'm like, I know what that ice is about right there. I'm like, dang it, is this how we gonna end?
Like, and some I learned too, like being on these flights over the last few months, it feels like if you pay attention that they speed up when it's time to land. Am I just tripping? Did you get that same feeling too? It happened twice today.
I can't speak to that just because I was thinking about, oh my God, are we about to end this way because we're about to skid off this runway?
And then we got Stranger Things starting actually today, right? For anybody, well, for us today, Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I think it's everywhere Wednesday. It felt like the upside down world being in Iceland.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm just like, this just can't be what life is supposed to be, right?
Not at all.
At all. I'm just like, okay, so let me get this right. So, and I was excited. I'm like, man, we're going to Iceland. What in the world have I ever thought I would be going to Iceland on purpose? And then I was like, nah, no, I ain't never been to Iceland. And then I pull up like, let me check their 10-day forecast. That 10-day forecast was like 40 degrees and rain and snow every single day. 34 degrees, 36 degrees, 32 degrees. I was like, man, I thought living in Michigan and living in the Midwest. See, he got out. He got out years ago and he moved to Atlanta. I'll never forget that joke. We went to go see, I forgot who it was. Maybe like Lil Duval. This was years ago. It was somebody who was like based like down south. And he got on stage and the first thing he said was like, y'all know we free. Y'all know we don't have to, you ain't got to be here. You can leave. It is too cold.
Go back down south.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I felt in Iceland. I was just looking around like, y'all know y'all don't have to live here, right? Ooh. You know, then little Matt, you know, because he thinks it's like cold and if he don't ever see sunshine again, he's probably okay. I think the kid's depressed. He don't think he's depressed, but I think he's depressed. He's like, it's just so great when you just sit in the dark. He wants to sit in the dark. We were in a extended stay hotel for 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
And anytime we were not eating, this kid wanted to have all the lights off. No matter what was going on. can we just turn all the lights off? I was like, man, you may have a problem. He's like, you don't like just sitting there with no lights on? I was like, no, man, like that's, no lights on. Like we're watching a movie, cool. If it's time to go to sleep, absolutely. But other than that, you shouldn't be sleeping in the dark. He was like, I don't know, man. I just like being in the dark. I was like, because you're probably depressed. You know what I'm saying? So E in the house. Hey, E, you want to tell the folks what was taking so long for you to hop on?
Hey, listen, I'm pretty transparent. I have Crohn's disease. I guess Crohn's is Cronin today, I guess, right? Look, I went down, I went in the bathroom, like, let me just make sure I'm good, right? I had a little pressure. Let me make sure I'm good before the podcast, and I wasn't good. Actually, I'm glad it happened, right? Because I don't know what would happen to the podcast. I would have to just
you'd have to leave.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You had to leave.
Yeah, like back in the day, like the little emergency, be right back sign come up. That would have been me probably, right?
I was worried for you, man. Like you sent our time, 2:20 a.m. You sent a text that give me another 5 minutes, no problem. Like I was still watching some of Monday Night Raw. And shout out to Penta too. I didn't even know until actually I just went on X and saw that he hurt his shoulder, and then I went back and looked at it just to see it. So of course thoughts get real soon, man. That's bad timing. Recovery. Yeah, just getting with his brother again, and a lot of good stuff happening.
I look, as he did the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Ain't no Hurricane Runner. It's just Frankensteiner. He did the Frankensteiner, and I thought he hit his head.
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know.
God,
what that was.
Man, listen, from how you going to be a Scott Steiner fan and you don't know the Scott Steinerisms? That's a Scott Steinerism.
All I know is I'm going to walk down that aisle and get in that ring.
Get in that ring, boy. You don't know me. You don't know capable of.
Right.
Of course, you guys know Scott invented that move, right? So when they went to AAA, and I guess they started calling it Hurricane.
Okay.
He hates that. Like, no, it's a Frankensteiner.
I like that though.
He's
right though.
Mm-hmm. If he's first,
he's right.
Damn Hurricane Runner. I'm the Frankensteiner.
That's crazy. But yeah, so I'm glad you was here, man. So you said that like 40 minutes ago. And then the one that really got me was starting to come down in here. If I'm not here in 5 minutes, start without me. And I was
we needed proof of life for E.
Yeah, well, no, I wanted to make sure like it wasn't like a storm or something. That sounds like, it's coming down really bad, like storm-wise,
right?
Hey,
we ain't checking on him.
Ironically, yes, you didn't check on your boy. And ironically, it is actually storming. It's raining like a motherfucker outside. Oh, yeah, it's raining like a motherfucker outside, man. I guess
what the fuck wrong with you,
I
man?
guess the bios was too relaxed. You know what I'm saying? You know the rain.
Oh, you did. You
makes
said
you
had
feel
a little
good.
Poop, but now it's raining chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what he said.
It's too late or early.
He said it's late for y'all. Just start now. Sneak in shortly. And he said ETA 5 minutes, and that was 20 minutes ago. Oh my God, I was going through it. God bless, man. Well, you ain't missed nothing, man. We just was talking about how this is a historic podcast because this is the latest podcast ever recorded in the TFW podcast history, being 3 a.m. local time here. It's still it's 9 o'clock your time or 10 o'clock now?
Yep, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay.
EST.
So the three of us are back. It has been over a month since the last time we've podcasted, and I don't know what this podcast even looks like. All right, so peek behind the curtain. We have tried to plan this podcast now for 2 weeks, and of course, Rhodesia and I will have a full like Spain Alicante, show if y'all want to hear that'll be coming when we kind of just detail and break down everything that happened. But we were supposed to be here weeks ago, according to our plan, and of course, we know plans are due to be changed whenever. But we got on a call and we were like, hey, let's do a pod in a week from now, which was actually 2 weeks ago. We were trying to get this thing done, but we are here now. We are back. I don't know what this show's going to be because I don't have anything in front of me. We were just like, we need to do a podcast. We haven't done one in a long time. We need to get back out to the freaks. So that's what this is. And I'm like, well, today is perfect because we are landing on Tuesday. And I'm like, it's going to take some days for our body clocks to get right. So I'm like, with the 6 hour, 7 hour time difference, we could figure out, we could do 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday because it makes sense.
Can.
Like,
I can't. I'm struggling. I'm seeing cross-eyed right now. I'm getting lost in this halo ring that's coming in a reflection of my glasses. I'm like, don't look up because don't walk into the light because I'm about to be done all the way over here.
So yeah, it ain't gonna be too long of a podcast, but whatever y'all want to talk about. What we do have to do though is we do got to let everybody know, like, hey, so what is happening with the TFW podcast? Okay, so we want to start there for sure. And a lot of y'all have been asking since we went to 1 day a week. We were doing 2 days a week, and then that kind of just wasn't sustainable with our scheduling and such. It was like, maybe we'll revisit doing 2 days a week going forward. Looks like this is the time now for us to go 2 days a week. It will look different because we are going to be splitting the shows. I know E is working on some things on what that looks like scheduling wise. There was just no way for us to continue this iteration of the podcast with E being in Atlanta. Shout out to Brandon when he's able to get on. He's in Atlanta. So you're still talking about United States. And you're talking about Rhodesia and I being in Spain. That's 6 hour difference. In no world is it realistic to do every single week. So we will be splitting the shows. We will be doing 2 separate shows a week starting next week. And what I really am excited about is, one, that's going to get you guys more content. But we are going to get together on like major shows and do the 4 of us. And so if it's like a WrestleMania, if it's, maybe AEW All In. So we'll probably get together like every couple months, the 4 of us or the 3 of us, and do an episode. But weekly, we gotta split it. We gotta split it. So it's been an incredible run, right? 3 years.
3 years.
Almost 3 years, really.
Well, 3.5, because remember we were practicing at this for about 6 months before we actually started releasing pods.
Yeah. So super grateful to E for holding it down for us. And Brandon for holding it down for us over the last month. Y'all, it was impossible for us to do content. I mean, I went like 3 weeks without watching wrestling. And the interesting thing was, didn't really miss it at all, that much.
Okay, I would say that I didn't miss it either because of other stuff going on in my life. But up until maybe like this past Raw, that I saw a few. I guess we could talk about Raw too. The funny moment, the most memorable moment of Raw. First off, let me jump off topic real quick. Do they still do top 10s anymore? Is that all YouTube now? Remember like years ago, like WWE would do something maybe at the end of the year and they would like the top 10 moments of blank. Do they have any of that anymore?
Yeah, I think so.
But so it's probably YouTube, though.
On YouTube, yeah. Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I would say that I didn't miss wrestling these last few weeks because I had other things on my mind. But I would also say that I didn't think that we missed anything either up until like in the last week. It just seemed like when I watched Raw episode and a couple of things from before, I'm like, okay, so nothing really advanced too much. And that's probably okay because we're building stories to Survivor Series and Armageddon. And sorry, I had to.
You know what I mean? Just gotta let her go, E. She just thinks that Armageddon joke is the funniest joke in the world. But if only you are the one that's laughing, it's probably time to get new material. How about this?
Stephanie was on some show. It might have been her own show. And she had mentioned something. Maybe it was with her and Paul Heyman. They had their interview. Mm-hmm. And she brought up Armageddon. And I was like, see, thank you. It's on somebody else's mind.
That was a great interview. E, did you, I know you say you don't listen to or get a chance to listen to much like podcast stuff. Check that one out if you haven't yet. Heyman was on Stephanie's pod, I guess a week or two ago. A lot of gems they dropped in that one.
I listen to more non-wrestling podcasts lately because I consume so much wrestling, and I've heard most of the stories. So for me to get more other types of entertainment, I do it through podcasts. So NBA podcasts, just different generation, animes, etc. I just don't. Mm-hmm. I'm just uninterested into listening to the stories. I kind of already know. I know it's like some new material and it probably is cool, but.
Yeah, it was good. And you brought up NBA. We gonna talk about these Pistons or what?
Pistons won again.
13 wins in a row, baby. Won again. We was able to get to 2 games while we were there for the 3 weeks against Chicago and Orlando.
I said Magic.
Yeah, Orlando Magic.
Kroger's.
No S.
No black. Listen, you can take what you can take Myers. The black out of the girl, but can't take the girl out of the black. Whatever.
My mom is visiting, so everything's been plural.
Shout out to Mama E.
Now I'm putting plurals back everything again too, because this is how I was raised.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
Now, so this is what I do need from you, E. Last year we had a conversation around Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Surrounding stuffing dressing. And dressing, and you came on here and we had a really good conversation about it. You was like, man, Katrina makes fantastic. I think you said dressing, right?
Dressing, yeah.
And you never like followed up with it. I'm like, hey, I need a picture on social media or something.
He really
was
did
just like, yeah, I didn't do it. Okay, this year is dressing and stuffing. What is on the Thanksgiving Day menu?
Oh, I remember asking her, actually. She said she calls it dressing.
Okay.
But is it dressing?
She says it. She makes it. So I'm going to let her have it.
So she's making it again this year, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
okay.
So we went to the Walmarts, right? I put that plural. We went to the Walmarts.
You put the on it. You
the
real
Walmarts.
black.
And what I do, I put cranberry sauce on top of the dressing, and then I stir it in, I mix it up, right? So I got at least about 5 cans of cranberry sauce. I need at least almost damn near half the can for like a large portion of the dressing that I consume. Oh yeah, it's going down.
So okay. So now I got
sounds
another
a little
question.
messy. That sounds
I love cranberry sauce.
I love it messy.
I love cranberry sauce.
I told the wife she was messy tonight.
Is
not talking about
the dressing good if you got to put that much cranberry sauce and mix it in? Like, have you raw dogged the dressing yet?
Oh yeah. You know I'm
cranberry. Okay.
You know I'm always going to raw dog it. So yeah. So I've tried it. Just raw and unfiltered. Yeah, I tried it raw and unfiltered. But when you add that cranberry on top, like the sweet with the savor.
Yeah. What did I just have for these like last week? I was like, it was
breakfast.
Breakfast. We went to this really nice breakfast spot in Dearborn, Michigan. Shout out to Dearborn. Dearborn's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, they've been building up for a while. Yeah,
I haven't like really spent a lot of time in Dearborn, probably 10 plus years. Man, really nice, like coffee shops, like food, like shout out to them.
They're only one knock out there. Only one knock.
Which is?
For those people who partake in adult beverages. A lot of the restaurants do not offer alcoholic beverages. That was like the only one thing, like we had a pregame.
Yeah. You go pregame
at another
somewhere.
place just to go there. But just to have I'm not saying like getting effed up and having liquor after liquor, but having a good glass of champagne or glass of wine with your certain fish meal, that kind of just complements the meal itself. But the food and the drinks was fantastic there.
Yeah, I had shrimp and grits and beignets. So you're talking about the sweet and savory. And I'm not typically that person. Like I used to like syrup when I eat like bacon or sausage or something and put a little bit of that together. But that was kind of like how far I went with the sweet and savory thing. I know people always talk about it. I was like, oh, I get it. Because the flavors are completely different when you eat it like that. Completely different. So, all right. So you got the dressing, you got the cranberry sauce. What else is on Thanksgiving Day menu? Because I got to live through you guys because I don't know what we eating this Thursday out here, but I can tell you it won't be macaroni and cheese.
Why would you say that?
I think they have
Why would
turkey.
You say that? Why would you say that?
Are you going to cook macaroni and cheese?
Yeah.
And if it is, it ain't the same type of.
Why would it not be? They have pet milk out here.
We know they don't have turkey. They definitely
I'm quite sure they have turkey here.
They ain't got no honey baked ham.
It's not Iceland. Sorry, guys.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna be eating like I have no problem with it, but seafood. We're gonna be eating like shrimp, fish. Got to get Matt a hamburger or something. So what else is on the menu for Thanksgiving?
It's funny. A week ago, I went to the barbershop, and I had the kids there. Katrina dropped the kids off, and she has something to do. And I had something to do at the same time. I had some schedules that overlapped. So she took the kids to the barbershop. I was like, she had something to do. I'm like, all right, look, I'm going to finish up my appointment. I'm going to meet you there, sit with the kids. You leave, go do what you need to do, right? So I guess her plans got canceled. So I get there, and one of the barbers, as soon as I sat down, I was like, top 3 Thanksgiving dishes. Go.
There you go.
I mean, my ass ain't hit the seat yet. Right? I guess it had been going down for this very conversation. So I had to think about it. I know, number one, the dressing had to be number one because that's one of the things I look forward to. It's probably one of the things, too, I only get this time of year. She only makes it for Thanksgiving, and she'll make it again maybe for Christmas, and I don't get it again until next
And that's
November,
it, right?
Yeah, so like cranberry sauce. I only eat cranberry sauce with this meal. So that's my thing, right? I got to get that. Mac and cheese is next. Wife makes some bomb mac and cheese. So that's number 2 on the menu. And then I'm like, damn, what's third? Because I kind of feel like, those are my stars on my plate. I'm not a
Right.
turkey guy. Look, I'm not even gonna say this out loud. I'm trying to revise it because it comes out terrible when I actually say what's actually in
just
my
say
mind.
it. No, just say what it is,
Like,
man.
right?
Because you
I'm-
said it before.
I don't want to
Yeah,
say
There's
it. I don't
receipts
want-
already
say it.
here on
Yeah,
the
Because
show.
what it is, I'm a big words is power type guy.
Mhm.
So I don't want to put that word. What I'm going to say is that turkey is last on the list. That actually could be taken off the list. I do not like turkey. My wife does an amazing job with turkey, tender, juicy, all that. But the problem is the next day, right? I go to put that boy in the microwave. It's going to dry it out a little bit.
Because you're
Like,
probably
right?
cooking it like black people. You're probably
No,
cooking it there and it start popping. Pop, pop,
Well, you know, for me, what I'm doing,
pop.
Brandon's in the house. What's going on,
What
fam?
up? Not much. How y'all?
Hey, hold on a
Good,
second.
man.
Brandon came in. So just so you know what we're talking about right now. We're talking about top 3 Thanksgiving Day dishes.
Yes, sir.
E has
Ooh.
said he's got his dressing, he's got the cranberry sauce, but he puts it together. And he don't even just put it together like he eats it together. He actually like mashes it together on the plate and puts it together as like it's like baby food. And that's how he eats that. And he said
That's a
baby.
perfect description. That is technically what I do, though. So
I
I mean,
know.
I wouldn't describe
When
it
you
that
said
way,
it.
but that
know
works.
it's-
Yes,
Like baby food is hilarious.
yes.
And if you're not looking, Brandon pops in and he looks like where
He
are
looks like
you
he's
right?
at a, he looks
Like
like
a
he's at
smoker's
a,
lounge.
I know we have
female
made fun
Like-
of you.
entertainment. He looks like
at
he's at a female
times.
entertainment
Yeah.
place right
Having-
now.
Wait,
Your
I'm waiting for
son's
some boobies to walk by.
crayon
Seriously.
drawings behind you.
I
You
know,
have
right?
absolutely updated. Are you at whose personal movie theater are you
No,
at?
That's
right
exactly
that's
now?
not a
where I
movie.
am.
What?
It's a theater.
Wow. Okay.
Hey,
look at that.
Literally.
Come on, man. Stop playing with me. I know a
That's
theater when I see one.
dedication.
Man.
I thought that was a titty bar. I ain't
No,
lying.
that's
It
No,
would have
that's
been
titty bar.
nice, right? It would have been nice. No, so I think I told you I'll be missing the action a little bit. So yeah, I'm on vacation with the family. Thanksgiving, we're here in
Yay.
Orlando.
Beautiful.
Yay.
So yeah, the house that my dad rents has a theater in it. That's where I'm at.
that's
Have you
what's
watched anything
up.
yet?
Crazy.
Yes, sir.
We have not watched anything yet. We did do a movie night last time we were here, and I think we'll probably do another one. Probably gonna be tomorrow. Mostly everybody will be here by tomorrow. We got here yesterday. Some people trickled in today,
That's so
Okay.
and then a good amount of people are arriving tomorrow.
So then that makes sense. So then that theater went to your head a little bit. So you big timed us. That's why you
Oh,
came
sure.
on late. You know what I'm
For sure.
saying?
He had
Like
a-
you
he had
knew
a
you read the
set
text
of
messages.
boom.
We're Brandon like, nah, I'm gonna hold out. Like I'm in the theater. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Sounds like
this is the quietest place in the house right now, and there's
I feel
actually
that.
people in here. So
All right,
we're
E,
working it out.
so you got stuffing.
But
Mac
let
and
me
cheese.
let me ask
Wait.
Brandon on this. Like
We
B,
had this conversation before. Is it stuff or
Yes.
dressing? I'm a dressing dude.
my wife said it's dressing. And so
Yes.
my wife calls it dressing, so she makes I'm called dressing. But let me ask you a question, man. 'Cause I was trying to
Okay.
put this in words without coming off negative. 'Cause I don't want to put negative things out there. So turkey, that's the last on the list. I want to take turkey off the menu
Pardon the
going
turkeys.
forward for Thanksgiving. I feel like it's a big ass bird, and the more you keep reheating it, it gets drier and drier. And you gotta make things with it. I want to take it off. I want some fried chicken, but I got older family members that
Fried
want it on the
chicken is
menu.
wild.
You
You
do
can't do fried
tradition.
chicken. E, come on, E.
Hell yeah!
You-
Thanksgiving,
Well,
man.
Yes, I can. Talk to him.
No,
You
Brandon.
you gotta do turkey differently. That's all.
Ah,
You gotta do I think if you do it fried, you still get it juicy. We're having a jerk turkey.
Ah. That's like
So-
a jive turkey, huh?
He
Yeah.
never eat jive turkey. What's this? The 70s?
Yeah.
Brandon said he done jive turkey.
So you just gotta do it differently. Yeah, I'm not with getting rid of it completely, but I totally understand the desire to swap it out for some fried chicken. So, but like legitimate fried chicken.
real
You
fried
no,
chicken.
man. No, you no,
Cat.
no. Fried
Like-
chicken does not
like-
belong.
Like Publix
For
fried
Thanksgiving.
chicken, Brandon. Give me a
No,
bucket,
no.
Brandon.
See,
Give
yeah,
me
no,
a bag.
you can't do
and
that.
this- You know what I'm talking
Now,
about?
if you want to
Nah.
do fried chicken on Christmas, you can do fried chicken on Christmas.
You can do it
Thanksgiving,
on-
though,
You can. It's not ideal, but you can. And if you're doing it on Thanksgiving, it got to be like cast iron skillet,
Mhm.
Big Mama,
Yeah.
or whoever frying it. Not Publix, dude.
where Rhodesia would
Them white folks tear
and
some chicken though, Brandon. You know that.
and
though.
she used to make a fantastic turkey. I say used to, like she's not right here, but I don't know when I'm getting turkey again, so I got to say used to.
I'm about to say,
Uh,
what's going to be on the menu for this week?
Man, fish.
Well, macaroni and
Paella.
You
cheese.
ever seafood? Exactly. Oh no,
Macaroni
there's
and
a
cheese.
story about the paella.
Yeah,
And
we always talk about that later.
Eric, I'm gonna get to you, brother, on another episode about
What are you
paella
talking about?
because he
Y'all
was
not a
like,
big fan?
you gotta get the paella.
Well, just
And,
a quick peek behind the curtain on
Hey,
that.
look,
We saved that for our final meal on our vacay last time we came here.
Okay.
And again, expectation super duper high through the
What was
window.
wrong?
Everything.
not everything, but listen. So it just
Oh, wow.
it wasn't the best. Now, granted, I do know in certain regions of Spain it's a little bit different, right? So being in
Yeah.
Alicante, they don't even call it paella; they call it
I forgot.
I forgot.
Well,
now.
that's the problem. Y'all didn't have paella.
Yeah. So, but I did tell Rhodesia, I was like, well, we going back again. We gonna do it again. But yeah, but she used to do it in the turkey. It was like an Oprah Winfrey
Mhm.
like recipe and from like years ago. And so it brings back to like an awesome time because she had like the paperwork printed. So anytime I see that paper, I was like, oh man, it's going down.
Mhm.
And she used to cook for everybody in the family. We would do, Thanksgiving kind of just for us, and then Christmas we would have the entire family come by. So we would do the macaroni and cheese, the turkey, the ham. But it wasn't until her turkey, that particular turkey, where I was like, oh no, turkey's really good. I never liked turkey. Yeah, I'm like you. I thought turkey was super dry. And the way she would cook it, it was never dry. Now, the key though is when it's time to go warm it up. So now we talking Black Friday, right? Now we talking Saturday. I don't know about y'all. I'm still rocking Thanksgiving leftovers on Sunday. I don't know about y'all. I am still rocking Thanksgiving leftovers on Monday.
And if it's still in the
It's-
refrigerator, I'm going down. But
Yep.
for
Talk
in my
about it, man.
house,
Talk
in
about
my
it.
house, probably by
Insert that
Sunday, I'm
plies
getting
clip
dry.
right here.
Talk about no, you crazy.
What'd
No,
you just
insert-
say, Brandon?
No,
Insert that
basically he's saying if you eat leftovers more than one more day, you're gonna die. That's what he's
No.
saying.
You can go to Saturday.
No. Are you
So-
so?
New meal Sunday. New meal.
Okay, no, wait. Let's go back. So what we normally do? So Thursday dinner, Friday, Saturday we will order something else, then go back Sunday and Monday to it. That's how we usually would do it.
Crazy work.
But that's a waste of food if you like. So is all the
And
food
it's still
eaten?
good. And it's still good.
Yeah.
In the scenario for this week, it won't be much left over. But
Okay.
traditional Thanksgiving, we usually knock out what we gonna knock out. I mean, I don't think we waste much food, if ever,
Okay.
but we usually knock it out by Saturday Saturday is like the last of like the honey baked ham.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh
It-
yes. Yes.
and it's
100%.
and it's probably mostly sides, if anything, by Saturday. And like Saturday's like, let's fry some chicken or some fish to go with a little bit of,
Yep.
and then we done.
I tell you what's funny. Typically, Rhodesia has to make me another thing of macaroni and cheese come the weekend because we got so much meat still left over, like
Mhm.
turkey or ham. I'm like, okay, and she's like, I'll just make a little small thing of macaroni and cheese.
See,
But
Katrina
by
does.
that
She'll
time,
make me
like, stomach
another
be
pan of
bricked up.
She'll make me another
The
pan of
stuffing?
dressing. Yeah, she'll make me another pan of dressing.
Yeah.
By then.
All right, E,
But-
so okay, so you got
Right.
dressing, you got macaroni and cheese. What's your third?
And that's where I got stumped at the barbershop. I'm like, damn, what's my third thing? I'm really more of a sides guy, to be honest with you. So
No dessert. What about dessert?
Well, actually, my barber's wife makes a really nice Oreo pound cake. So that's what I got
Ooh.
for
Ooh.
dessert this year. But the common things like sweet potato pie. So we know I was with my dad. We were in the Walmarts, Brandon, and
The Walmarts.
my mom was like, "Hey, you want to get a patty sweet potato?" I'm like, eh.
I never had that.
But it's really good, actually. I will probably say that Patty LaBelle's sweet potato pie is the best store-bought sweet potato pie you can buy.
That's what I've heard. I've never had it.
Best store.
Brandon,
It tastes like something a family member will make.
Mm.
Brandon, do you think you would enjoy Patty's pie more or better than E's barber's wife's pound cake?
Probably the pound cake.
I think I would enjoy that pound cake more too.
I'll eat patty
Now-
pie. The
Now you're
ones
talking
you
about
bake.
desserts. I was talking about
And,
dinner. Now you're talking about desserts. Which one do you think is better? I mean, the Patty still got it.
Yeah.
Patty
I'd
still
probably go
got
with
it.
the pound cake for
Same.
sure. And I'm not a
And
huge sweets guy.
So did he just bring in the pound cake and was like, hey, E, you gotta try this? Like,
No, so actually, so here's the one thing about, and Brandon can probably attest to this too. He's probably has a nice barber he goes to. You know, like my barber in Detroit,
you trying to say?
It was in the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got a great story about a barber right now.
But you go to a nice barber.
But I'm talking about
Hilarious.
I'm not talking about the actual, but I'm talking about the actual barber shop itself. Like, the barber shop I went to, it was in the hood. It had been there for like 50 years or whatever, right? You go in there, like the dirt from like 20 years ago still is in the same corners.
Mm-hmm.
It was a barber shop, right? But which is like the barber shop I went to, I go to now, and most of the ones in Atlanta, they're like really nice, clean, like classy type barber. Like it's a different experience.
Nice.
Like one dude has like the little like hotel like fragrance going. He has has going in. It's like a whole different experience that you go in the bar, bowling, not bowling table, pool table, or this really nice setup, right? His wife will come in and she will have like little samplers that she's selling. She's like, this is pound cakes, $3, banana puddings, $2, like those samples. She's like, hey, by the way, if you want to get a full cake, here are the prices, etc. So that's how it started. She came in, she had her little basket of goodies, and to like, this is my barber. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and see what's up, see how your wife's pound cake tastes. I never had an Oreo pound cake. I only had regular ass yellow nasty pound cake, and I wasn't really a fan. I never was a fan. But he was like, "Yo, E, try the Oreo."
Eating his wife's pound cake is nuts in so many funny different ways. But here's the thing, though. So you talked all about crazy barbershop. How much you paying for a cut?
Not bad. I give my man 50, 55, depending on how the money look.
And that's just for you, or is that for you and the boys?
That's for me.
So that's for you. And how often do you go?
I go every 2 weeks. Kids as well. So yeah, every 2 weeks, I'm spending probably about $110 to $115.
Yeah, I'd be on that YouTube learning how to fade.
That's not that bad.
That is that bad. Yes,
no, I'm
it
telling you,
is.
that's not that bad for
Jeez.
some other prices that I know about. Especially when you start talking about pool tables.
Sure.
Stuff. I was like, oh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Rhodesia, some of these haircuts are close for one person, are close to $100 for some of these men. So this is actually pretty affordable out here. I heard when I got out here that E, they charging $100 a head out here. I'm like, word? God damn.
How much do you pay?
See, I've been learning.
$50.
He said 55 with tip.
Oh wow. Hold on. I'm sorry, it's a little crazy, but I'll be right back.
Okay. He big timing us again.
That's all.
That's all.
About to show the indoor pool, the outdoor pool, the inside basketball court, the outside basketball court.
He gonna come back in the middle of the pool for no reason. Now, what y'all say? With the little floaty on.
Hey,
got you, Brandon.
He'll come back
on us right now. Yeah. Hey, he made sure to tell us what type of ham. He ain't just say ham. He said
he said honey baked ham. Why you had to do that? Like,
and we know honey baked ham is like $1,000.
I couldn't even afford honey baked ham until like adulthood.
We got honey baked ham last year, and Rhodesia tried to talk me out of it. She kept looking at the price like every day. She would come back to me. She's like, "Are you sure you want a honey baked ham? You know I can just do it." I was like, "No, I want a honey baked ham, right? Like you do fantastic with ham, but I want like a honey baked ham." And she would come like every single day, like, "You ordered a ham?" Yeah, I was like, "No, not yet." She's like, "You sure you don't want me just to go get the honey packet and the brown sugar packet? I can do it." I was like, "Rhodesia, no, I want a honey baked ham." And we got it. That was the first honey baked ham I've had. Man, it's so long, and it's still fantastic.
I haven't had ham in probably, goddamn, man, probably 25 years, man.
Oh, that's a long
haven't had a ham.
Damn, that's a real long time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but let me ask you a question, though, Matt, Rhodesia. You mentioned NBA and the Pistons on this win streak. I love it, right? I love it. The Detroit teams are winning. Are we winning? I think the skill is there. Okay. I think the Eastern Conference is when I look on that Eastern Conference, like, I don't know who can really come out of that conference and actually challenge for the championship this year. Like, I just see like a lot of bad teams. And one of the reasons why, for instance, I think my son is so enamored with the old NBA, right? Because my son, my youngest son, 7-year-old, loves the NBA. And he is constantly researching and learning about the older players. He's more interested in the players that retired than the players that are playing. If you look at these teams, like I can't count how many like superstars on these teams. Because back in the 90s, the early 2000s, almost every team had like a superstar. Like I don't know who a lot of these guys are that are making a lot of goddamn money, man. But goodness gracious. But I feel like when you look at the Eastern Conference, man, like the conference is really weak. It's really wide open. So it's
Wide
poised
open.
for a team like the Pistons who have really come together, right? Who actually have a team who has a budding superstar, like, right, to kind of take it over. What I'm asking, long story short, how much of this winning streak is the Pistons skill level and the actual lack of skill
of the competition
from the rest of the league? Yeah.
I give it 100% to the Pistons because they're all playing each other, right? So I'm seeing a lot of that from like, I hate Knicks fans. I've already said that. Shout out to any New York Knicks fans that's listening to the pod. But I can't stand Knicks fans. Where did you got some echo over there? Because they swear and they think like they're just the best team in the East no matter what. So when we were like 7 wins in a row, 8 wins in a row, they was chirping online. Oh, they're not real. Those aren't real. We're playing the same teams y'all playing. We're in the same conference. Like the New York Knicks ain't in the Western Conference. Neither is none of these other teams. So I think it reminds me a lot of back in the day, man. Like even with like the going to work Pistons, 2003, 2004. You had the Knicks. I'm sorry, not the Knicks. You had the Pistons. You had the Nets. Jason Kidd, when he led that team. You had who else? It was like a third team. The Pacers. Reggie Miller was still there. And then you kind of had everybody else, right? Like back then we were guaranteed 45, 50 wins a year. And then it kind of flipped a little bit when LeBron took over and he was in the East and he was in Cleveland, he was in Miami. Then the East was the powerhouse. And I think now we're kind of just getting back to that where the West is where you're probably, if you're looking at the top 4 or 5 teams in the league, and I'm putting the Pistons up there as a top 5 team because they are right now. They won 13 in a row, right? No matter who was on the schedule, they've won 13 in a row. But if you look at that outside of the Pistons, you can probably say that the other 4 teams are probably from the Western Conference. So I just think the West is really, really top heavy. And I think the East is not where the West is, but that's why you just got to win and you got to do what is on your schedule. And if you win what's on your schedule, let the chips fall where they may when you finally get to the finals. Injuries and all that kind of stuff happens. But yeah, of course, the West is much more strong than the East. But I take this win streak as valid as anything else in sports.
Oh, no, I definitely think that is valid, though. Go ahead, Rhodesia.
I was just going to say, and hopefully I'm not about to regurgitate anything you just said since I dropped off. But I think that for sure the East, you said wide open is what the wording y'all use. I would just say the East kind of sucks right now, at least the teams I've seen play so far. But I think Detroit is building something so special in a team because there were times where we would go down and we would come back and win the game. And I just remember the past few years before that, we'll get in trail behind and we can't come back and win the game. And being able to get over that hurdle of, okay, no, let's finish it. Even if we're winning, let's finish it. When we win and then we lose the lead, find a way to fight back again and be able to do that. At one point, there was 12 people actively playing in the game. The last game that we went to, they showed the stats of everybody who and all their points. And it's just like, that is a team. Yes, we need more superstars, but that's what we have in Kay Cunningham. But overall, I think the East sucks, but also Detroit, man, their team. They're gritty.
Yeah, I think that when I'm watching it, I feel like the Pistons are definitely taking advantage of a super weak conference. I think that like a lot of those years, like the going to work Pistons, I feel like the East was stronger then than what we're seeing now. I just look at that East, man. Like outside of the Knicks, like I don't know who really can give us competition just from an overall togetherness standpoint. Even the Knicks at this point, they got a new coach, right? They got a lot of their bench is better than it was last year, right? But you got to figure that out. You got to get chemistry. Like, right, you got to get some chemistry. You got to figure out the rotation, etc. Like the Pistons, like core nucleus has been together for about, 3 years now? Like, right? And the great thing about the Pistons is that it seems like the core unit likes each other. Like, right? They support each other. And like that
And
chemistry.
hold each other accountable too.
Yes, like that type of chemistry really builds for teams and takes you further than without it. So I think like they're really taking advantage of like a very, very weak Eastern Conference. And to me, like I don't see the East getting any stronger. If anything, I feel like the Pistons can maybe they can make a trade or so, like right, without ruining the chemistry. They get even stronger to where they can come out of these playoffs and challenge whoever comes out of the West.
Yeah, and I don't want any trades right now until we show where we are deficient at. Keep this team as is.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I don't need Anthony Davis because who you going to give up? I don't.
No, we
nobody.
don't need him.
I'm
No.
good.
No.
I'm good.
Mm-mm.
Yep, 100% good. You brought up like teams and such. So we watched the majority of Raw today as much as we could. That opening segment with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. Thoughts?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see Raw yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, but my parents came from picked them up from Detroit, and I didn't actually sleep at all. I didn't sleep not one bit.
Hey, team no
I
sleep.
stayed up.
Hey, team no sleep right here,
stayed up.
boy.
Yeah, I stayed up the whole night. So I want to say it about I think it was like 6:00. Like I finally fell asleep. Woke up at 9:00. The family wanted to watch House of Pain. You guys ever watch House of Pain?
Oh,
Only
yeah, of
in
course.
passing. I only watched it in
Of
passing.
course.
So with big
Classic
boy, big
movie.
guy,
Should've
right?
went triple.
House of Pain.
Yeah.
House of Pain. It's Tyler Perry show.
It's a
So I think
TV
it's
show,
Oh, no,
man.
I thought you were talking about, I'm thinking Major Pain.
No, not
I've never
Major
watched
Pain.
Oh,
House of
Jamie
Pain.
Wayne's
Yeah.
Lord.
It's
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's House of Pain. I believe that might have been his first series
sitcom,
originals
yeah.
on TBS. I think it ran consecutively for about 6 or 7 years, then it went to a different network, and then it went on a hiatus. I had no idea it came back or had been a fixture on BET for the past 3 years, so the family's watching that. And to be honest with you, we was watching House of Pain, laughing, hee and kiki, and I didn't think about Raw.
That's
So-
awesome, though.
And then
That's
I fell
awesome.
asleep again. So no,
Mm.
I have not watched or seen any highlights overall, but that doesn't mean that matter. I can't listen to you guys talk about it and add on.
What did I think about it? Outside of me being tired watching it, I felt, again, it was like disjointed, just that beginning segment. And again, I don't know if it's because I'm feeling who's battling the top spot, like who is the more aura of the more aura. So for me, I don't know if it's because the segment in the front part of it wasn't that good when all three of them got in the ring, or if it's just more of me, just even as a fan, trying to figure out where do I have my feelings at toward each person. It kind of looked like some people stepped over on top of each other, but sometimes that's good. I mean, is more authentic that way. You can get more out of the person. You can see kind of where they're at when it comes to mic skills. But again, it just seems a little bit off. And I'm about to say something completely out of line because I have not watched wrestling in so long, but it feels like, I said this before, when I watch Punk in the ring sometime or listen to him in the ring sometimes, for me, sometimes it feels like he's just going off the top of his head, and sometimes the synergy just doesn't sync well with the actual promo that's going on. And again, kudos to a person who's being able to go out in front of a crowd and just talk from the heart or whatever, from the dome. But sometimes for me, that feels a little bit off. So kind of when Punk would have that look, almost like deer in the headlights, it kind of throws me off too. And again, who is the person? Who team really is it? So for me, I felt like it was a little bit disjointed. But again, I have no other context. I don't know what else has been going on. So just for having that part of Raw, I just was like, okay. I haven't really missed nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it was disjointed at all, personally. I think, and that's what actually, and Punk's he doesn't get lost in there. He's going out there and feeling what is happening. And even when he hit the line of acknowledge us, and it was the look Roman kind of gave him, and he kind of gave Roman a look back. You just knew that wasn't the thing that they had talked about backstage. He even said, like, I'm using your material, your best material. But so he basically, all it was about 18 minutes to get to the point of whose team is this really? And then for Roman to hit the line at the end of that belt looks better on me than you. And Cody and Punk is in the ring holding their belts. And then he's walking away, and then Punk says, "Who you talking to? Who?" And then, Roman doesn't have a mic anymore. He kind of says, and the camera picks it up. He goes, "That's up to you two to figure out." And he kind of smiles, laughs, and walks away. It's interesting because you can tell that I think they are just trying to figure out, where does Roman fit into this heading into WrestleMania season? Because if you think about like everything that changed, Seth Rollins getting hurt threw a monkey wrench in a lot of plans. We know that already. A ton of plans. Yep. Which also changed Braun Breaker's plans and what he was supposed to. And I think they've done him an absolute disservice over the last, and I haven't been watching, I've been seeing all of his stuff through clips and such. So when I say I haven't been watching wrestling, of course I still been kind of keeping up with what's been happening. I just haven't sat down and watched shows before, I guess this time last week. Watched the Raw show from Madison Square Garden. Thought it was tremendous. Loved that show.
Oh, yeah, we saw that.
Watched AEW this past weekend. We'll probably get into those thoughts like next week or in 2 weeks. Everything I have thoughts on are weeks old. So
it's
maybe
late,
we'll catch up in like the middle of December by the time we get to like live talking about wrestling. Because I got some stuff I do want to talk about, but it's all old stuff. But so we know like the stories are kind of they're probably booking a little bit on the fly. So I was even surprised just to see a segment with Cody and Roman like in the same ring. And I know you got to do it because of War Games.
Yeah.
But I also know they don't have a plan right now to do Cody and Roman again. Because if they did, we would start seeing things on it.
Okay.
And yeah, you probably say, the money is Punk Roman for next year at Mania. Mm-hmm. Easily your night 2.
Well, Roman,
main
if
event.
You look at that, when he made that comment, Roman saying the championship is mine, whatever. He kind of originally had his eyes locked on Punk when he first said it, at least from what I interpreted from the shots. It looked like he was always looking at Punk.
Correct.
And then when Punk said that, he's like...
But I don't know, and of course they'll do whatever they need to do to heat it up. I mean, hell, Brock came back and all the internet told me that nobody cares about seeing Brock and Roman interact again. And, said clip gets 5 million views online and, the hype goes through the roof for War Games after that starts last week. But it's just, it's interesting to me that you can just tell they're just trying to figure out the landscape of putting these major pieces. Because you're talking about Cody, Punk, and Roman. All three of them, you can easily say, hey, this is your show, run with it. And they could do it. And just trying to figure out now the pieces and where they go and how they should interact. And that was kind of just what that entire segment was. I enjoyed it for what it was. You could have easily done that segment in 2 minutes. Like I said, it was, a full 15, 16 minutes or whatever it was.
One last thing.
But it should be interesting. We'll see what they do with War Games, of course, this Saturday and how that plays itself out. I thought War Games has been ice cold before last week in terms of the hype for the match. New York went a long way with having Brock and Roman. The sit down with Rhea and Charlotte, I thought on SmackDown went a long way too. AJ Lee of it all was fun to see that. Becky, of course, is doing great work. Last Legend, man, she is such a star. And hopefully they do her right. I'm still a little worried because she is technically on SmackDown, right? With Nia, yeah. So I'm a little worried. I'm worried for anybody on SmackDown until they can show me and they can figure out how to book people. I am a little worried about her, but she is tremendous, man. Like she is one. We've been talking about her for a while. Like she just has that look, But I am excited for War Games now. Both matches. Am I excited as I should be, as we should be? No, we're not. But we've talked about it. You've been talking about it for months. We've been talking about it for months. There's just too many shows every week. Big shows. You just don't get a chance to sit down and digest something and really sink your teeth into the story and getting excited for that climax.
Which one y'all doing that?
You know it ain't me.
What happened?
It ain't never been me. You know it ain't me. Doing.
What ain't never been you?
Doing.
Oh, but
Doing.
you have completely destroyed the show with your microphone, but it's never been you.
No, it's that
So you
noise.
can't say it's
It's that
never been you.
particular noise.
Oh, is this? Hold on a second.
Is you hitting the thing? Yep.
Yeah,
It's all that.
That was the
It's
worst
always that.
Okay, how about this one?
There's that too.
Is that one too?
The same
I'm
thing.
over here strumming a guitar. This is not good content, but whatever. But yeah, so that was that. What else?
I wanted to say this. I want to go back to the Punk thing because I don't want to be so super critical on him because it's pretty impressive to be able to just to go in the ring, but it's just different when you have one person going in there just speaking, and the other people probably already have what they're going to say already ready to go. It just seems a little bit different. So, but again, I don't want to like knock or say that's a knock to our Punk because in reality, that actually is a really great skill to have.
You know, I started to do a video last week just talking about wrestling. And I know you guys haven't watched in some time, right? I continue, I've never taken a break from wrestling, but I see why someone would take a break because wrestling right now is just, it's flat, right? Outside of that, the show that we had at New York, and what an amazing re-debut of Dolph Ziggler, right? I almost believed in Dolph Ziggler again, right? We turned the page back. Almost went in that. I wanted to come on to talk about that, but wrestling has been flat, like for the past year, and I think really after the WrestleMania, after Cody finished his story, the bloodline thing kind of fizzled out. We didn't get the conclusion that we thought we were going to get or we dreamed of for the next year. WWE didn't do a good job of, I think, building off of Cody's finishing the story. I don't think they set him up like a Hulk Hogan to where they had monsters and all these storylines ready for Cody for the next level. They never had that big story that people can really sink their teeth into, but they wrote a lot of momentum into like this big contract on Netflix. I mean, WWE can put on these spectacles, and I think that's what we got in New York. That's why it kind of creates some buzz, right? So they can kind of create these spectacles at any point in time, but the overall show and state of WWE it's flat. There's not a big storyline that we can talk about that we can get really excited about and keep fantasy booking for some time. It's kind of moving too quick. Like the storylines they are doing are in and out. Like, right? It's like a quick hit. Like, right? And then you look at AEW, it's much improved show and company. Like, right, but they're not doing anything that says, like, hey, if I'm a WWE fan, they're not doing anything at AEW that's going to make me say, hey, I need to go see what they're doing. Like, right, if you're like an AEW fan, I would say WWE isn't doing anything particularly different that's going to make you say, hey, you know what? I want to start watching WWE now. No one's doing anything that's really particularly innovative. I kind of thought that as a young company like AEW, like they would kind of be that brand to kind of be innovative, a la like ECW. Like when you watched ECW back in the day, like there was no other company who was putting on shows like them. Not from a character standpoint, not from a story standpoint, from a presentation, the music, etc. It felt different, right? With WCW, with NWO, that was different than when you're getting on WWE. You had different flavors of presentation. I feel like all the wrestling that we're seeing right now, TNA, NXT, AEW, WWE, they're all kind of the same to a degree, like, right? But no one's doing it better than WWE. So if you're a fan of that kind of product, why would you seek other presentations when you're getting the best of it? And the best of it is just like ice cream. It's just like vanilla ice cream. It's good vanilla ice cream. It's nothing specific. It's nothing special. But every now and then, they're going to give you a hot new flavor. They're going to like, hey, I got vanilla with hot brownies today. Mm-hmm. I got vanilla with a cherry. And we go, woo, a cherry on top. I can't wait to dive in. That's to say the wrestler right now. That's what we got in New York. We got Dolph Ziggler. We got Roman Reigns back, and we got Brock Lesnar. They gave us the good vanilla.
Maxine
they gave us a brownie.
Winning the IC championship.
Amazing, right?
That was big.
Yep. But I don't know if Maxine's going to be something that's going to keep us tuning in,
of course, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's some good shit that happens, but I think that's the state of WWE right now. And
100%, man. What's that saying? Where they rising tide? What's that saying? Mm-hmm. Where like
I can't tell you.
Basically,
I know what you're talking about though. I'm with you.
Yeah, like the top whatever it is brings everything up. If you think about AEW when they first debuted, NJPW, AEW. WWE was so bad. AEW was on fire. We loved it. When WWE was hot, first 2 years with Triple H being head booker, they were beyond, they were scorching hot, on fire. It brings everything up, right? Like, you know, TNA, people start getting independence and all that kind of stuff. And I think right now what we're seeing is, to your point, it's just too much. It's not too much content to consume. I want to be clear on that. I don't think it's too much content to consume. What I think is too much content is to have the buy-in. So to your point, E, surrounding AEW. So I'm watching the pay-per-view, and I'm seeing blood. I'm seeing violence. But I just had blood and guts 2 weeks ago. The cage match, which is supposed to be the most brutal match in wrestling. It's like I just got it. Like if I didn't get blood and guts 2 weeks ago and I'm getting this blood, okay, it looks different. But when I'm getting it consistently, it's like, it's blood. Cool. And I'm never going to be against blood in wrestling. I still think there's ways to do it that you can maximize, you know, your stuff. That's the same thing that happened on Friday. Cody Rhodes, that 90-second promo, boy, he had me feeling something.
That was a good one. That was a great promo.
Shout out to him. I watched that. I watched it like 3 times. And I was just in amazement. I think I even tweeted it, like, your best people make you feel something, right? Not many people can make us feel something right now because things are moving so fast. That promo made us feel something. But on the opposite end of it, show starts off with Cody supposed to be coming out. He doesn't come out. It shows Drew McIntyre beats him up on his tour bus, bloodied him up. There was blood there, and he's laid out. Shows up an hour later. Like, if we're going to lay out our top babyface, I'm from the school of thought as when you lay out a top babyface, I'm not going to see you again until the pay-per-view. If you
That's
show
what I
up,
thought
right?
originally. That's
if
what I thought
you
originally.
Show up, we can run that whole thing. Hey, we hope we see him. He was jumped behind. We don't know exactly what happened, but the word is blah, 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 and this and that. For him to show up in the same show and lay out all the hills and then show up on Monday to get into a tizzy with the top 2 baby faces along with him on whose team it is, it's just a lot, right? It's a lot when the less you do, the better it is. Dolph Ziggler, you brought up, E. What was clear as day to me, and him and Solo worked that match, was, he's still better than the majority of the WWE roster.
Mm.
It wasn't nothing crazy special about that match, but that was a great match. They maximized their time, and they got, I think, 8 minutes. I think it was. But boy, did he get his stuff in. Boy, did he make Solo look fantastic. And it's like, yeah, if he was to show up every single week, he ain't getting that same pop. We don't care as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. We understand. But I was super happy for him to get that type of reaction and get that type of return. That's a big spot for them to put him in. He's been gone for 2 years now. So
2 years. Seems like it's been longer.
Yeah. It seems longer than that.
Right before you guys go away from Dolph Ziggler, I feel like it's time to bring it back. And I feel like if they bring him back this time, like, it's time to go ahead and not put the rocket on him.
Do something.
They need to, exactly. He needs to be at that LA Knight level. He needs to be one of those guys that maybe they're not the top. He's not, Punk. He's not Roman. He's not Cody. He's not those guys. But he's somebody who could challenge for the championship. And you can take them seriously in that role.
Right.
Like, right. Sometimes they can win. He's like, they're kind of doing, they're doing that with Drew. Like, Drew isn't one of the top guys, but he's a guy that you can take serious. Like, right. We can argue, should he be a top guy or not? But he's valuable in his role because you believe that he can beat any of those guys at any time. Like, right? Any given day. That's who Dolph Ziggler should be because he still looks good. He's still a hell of a hand in that ring. And obviously he still has a connection with the crowd. Like, right? Because you look at it, and it wasn't just one of them returning type things because we saw my boys, Matt Cardona, another Matt. We saw him on SmackDown. He returned. And I don't think the crowd was super into it, man. So it could be one of those things to where it just was a returning superstar. No, this was a guy that people believed in at once upon a time, and they wanted to believe in him again that night. I thought he possibly could beat Solo and go further. Like, well, damn, is Ziggler going to be the guy that's going to give Cena his last match? It would make kind of sense. Like, right? You believed it for a second.
Hot second, yeah.
Like, right? That's why I feel like it's time to go ahead and bring him back home. Let him finish his career, you know, with grace and with a nice, solid run. Because the dude's only like, I think, 45 or something like that. So he can go at a high level for at least another 3 years or so.
Matt, the phrase is a rising tide lifts all boats.
There we go.
Look at that.
And so this is where it gets conflicting, because I'm about to be a hypocrite here and talk out of both sides of my neck, because when pro wrestling is doing well, you named all those companies, they all have good wrestling. Now, it might not be our type of wrestling, but they're all good wrestling. After a point, it becomes wrestling fatigue as far as like the fan. And you don't want them to sandbag and not be as good as they can be. They always should be trying to do their best. And it was a really great point that Tony Khan made with Ariel Helwani in their interview about being able to produce the best show. He's been saying this ever since AEW's came out, to produce the best possible show. If you come, you spend your hard-earned money, or you're watching TV. It's almost like, well, damn, do all of y'all have to be good at the same time? Because now there is no variety in that sense. Because I know whatever channel I watch, if this was already, I'm a fan of it, I'm going to just keep watching it because I know I'm going to get a solid show. Very vanilla. Maybe vanilla bean this time, not the cherry yet, but a vanilla bean or homemade style vanilla. But I just think that's kind of where we're at right now as a wrestling fan, at least for me. And because we've been watching wrestling for so long, there's a lot of good wrestling. And at a point, it's almost like, okay, it's so much good wrestling, I'm just going to find this one and just park here and wait until somebody does something different.
And there is a thing of too much of a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard that line, right? You brought up ECW. You brought up ECW. The difference is, so we can go pre-pay-per-view for ECW. We can go post-pay-per-view for ECW.
What you mean by that?
They went a long time where they didn't have pay-per-view.
Okay. So how did you watch it?
No, it was regular weekly television.
Okay, got it.
Right? But they would watermark certain dates and certain shows as a big show, a big match. Okay, so they wouldn't do like back then, the ECW, legit, a regular ECW show could have been 4 promos and 1 match. That's your show.
And y'all loved it, evidently, huh?
There could be some shows where you had 3 matches, you had 1 promo. And there could be some shows you had 1 promo and you had 1 match.
Yep. Sometimes the whole show was the 1 match.
Yeah. The whole show was the 1 match.
So
it wasn't 5-star match after 5-star match after 5-star match after blood match after blood match after blood match and barbed wire match. No, it was, we are going to build to this barbed wire match with Sabu 8 months out of his feud with X person. And every week he may tease the barbed wire. He comes to the ring with his arm wrapped in barbed wire and chases off the heel, right? Never gets to him until we set up the barbed wire match. It was done from a point. When we all used to watch Walking Dead, or I think Ease brought up when anime, you have setup shows, right? And unfortunately, there's some shows that have setup seasons. Really, they get deep into seasons. You're like, all right, well, season 7 was just kind of really to set up season 8.
Yeah.
And
even
it
like
gets to a
Severance
point,
because of that.
Yeah, like with like wrestling, where give me some more of that. Actually, who was it? Shout out to, it was someone, look really quick. On your video, the pod you did last week, I know you made it a YouTube exclusive. You talked about, is there too many championships in wrestling? And which I thought was a really good video. But somebody had brought up, like, is it time to bring jobbers back into wrestling? And I think the answer is yes. But now, once again, you're talking about from a perspective of Ghost Ronnie. Shout out to Ghost Ronnie, my guy. He's always on YouTube supporting us. But it's the content game. Rhodesia brought up Ariel's interview with Tony Khan, and great interview. Tony Khan. Me and Tony Khan best friends now. Tony Khan liked the tweet that shouted him out for. I didn't even add him. But I thought the interview was awesome. I did. Now, when I tweeted, I didn't see it yet. It was just a lot of like positive remarks about the interview. So I watched it. I thought he did incredible. By far the best interview I've ever seen him do.
Mm-hmm.
He used to hit you with the great question. I can't answer it. And he'll start talking about Dynamite that Wednesday. And he didn't do any of that at all. He answered
He did for
everything.
one on
He answered everything
on Andrade. He did one.
Yeah. But and you know what? It's a good thing.
can't.
You're right. He actually did like, hey, look,
I can't.
like, yeah, look, I can't talk about this one, right?
Yeah.
He thought
This
he was
time
ready.
I can't do it.
But no,
I
Yeah,
really
he
can't
told
do
us
it
though.
this time.
He said
I gave
he
you an
thought he was
hour.
ready.
I gave you an hour of all answers. I can't touch this one though. But he talked about, and I told Rhodesia, I said, as much as I would want to complain about the length of these AEW pay-per-views, I'm never going to mention it again from a perspective of where I used to come from with they need to shorten them. His response was, I remember I couldn't get all the pay-per-views when I was younger. So any kid who wants to watch our show and maybe they can't order every single one, I want to make sure whichever one they order, they by far get their money's worth. You know what? I'm good with that. If a business owner is telling me I'm going to overproduce to make sure that you are satisfied, I'm not going to complain. I still think they're too long. And really what it is, you know what? I figured it out. It's not this too long. I told Rhodesia this a couple days ago. I fell asleep on Full Gear. I fell asleep on Mercedes, or I think it may have been before. Mercedes and Stanlander. Really good match. The main event I was kind of going in and out on. It's not that it's too long. Because the show is only 4.5 hours. What it is the 152 false finishes. That's what tires you out more than the length of the show. Because imagine if you get a show that is 4 hours long, but you only get 2 matches that are barn burners, right? Everything is about 3.5 stars, but you get 2 5-star matches. That 4-hour show feels completely different than every match aiming to be a 5-star match from the opening contest to the end. By match 4, you're kind of like, I'm good in the best way possible. I'm good. I've seen it all. I've seen the violence. I've seen the blood. I've seen the high flying moves. I've seen the physicality. I'm good. And I think that's where AEW kind of runs into, but it just, for me, it kind of goes back to like, man, sometimes good is too good.
I'll say this though, because to be fair to Tony Khan, that he's stated that multiple times that that's the reason why those shows are so long. He wants people to make sure they get their money's worth, and which I respect. I just think that if you're going to do a 4-hour show, it should be earlier in the day. You're right. It should be towards the end of the day, and it should be on a Sunday. Things of that nature. I think that there's a responsibility you have to not water down your product, because at the end of the day, I actually respect that everyone who's going to in these matches. If you're going to do a 4-hour show, it should be a bar burner, and everyone on the card should try to be the man, steal the show. I see no problems with that. But I think as a business owner, that's what you guys say. You know what? This is going to, for the quality of my program, I'm going to make this 3 hours, and that $50, I'm going to earn that $50 within that 3 hours. I think that'd be better for the product. I think that'd be better for the consumer as well, which is exactly what you said, because that's a long damn show, man. Like, you're right. I fall asleep towards the end of that show too. It's damn near midnight after watching these things. Emotionally, you do get burnt. But I also will say this is one of the biggest things for me. It's not really about the matches and stuff like that with AEW. I value the match quality. Again, when we talk about ECW, it's about the emotion that we felt when we watched it. And yes, you got some of it from the matches themselves, but a lot of it was that character, man. Like when you watched ECW Rhodesia back in the day, it was nothing like, there was not another wrestling program like ECW. There wasn't wrestlers and characters like you saw in ECW anywhere else. Not to that degree. You talk about the hardcore wrestling style, the blood and guts that AEW's doing. They were doing that like no other on that. And it was unique because you wasn't seeing that. And I think that's what the edge came from with ECW and those other programs, is that you weren't seeing anything else that looks similar to that. Too many other programs right now, AEW, WWE, TNA, NXT, they all have great. I know AEW wants to be where the best wrestle. God damn it, that's subjective. Like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's someone who likes the WWE style can say the best wrestle here. You can say that's New Japan. You can say, like, that's subjective to say, like, hey, my calling card is my wrestling's better than everyone else's. That's really subjective, because when you go to watch, if you're a new viewer, hasn't seen wrestling, when you go to see AEW, You're not seeing something entirely new, different, or fresh take on that. You're seeing pretty much what you can see on any other wrestling program. And that's where some of the flatness comes, because all these promotions have really great to solid wrestling that you can experience anywhere. Right? And the only thing that sets WWE apart is that they do a bigger spectacle of it. That's why my wife enjoys the product,
production.
right? Yeah, my wife, she can go there. She can go to a WWE show and appreciate it because it's such a larger than life spectacle. I think that's why they get more casual and crossover fans, is because yes, you have wrestling at the heart of it, but you go there, they got the entrances, they got the Flash, they got the big Trons, they got all these smokes and mirrors that really make it a spectacle and a sight to see. Right? You take all those layers off the program, it's what you get on AEW. It's what you get on TNA and what you get in NXT. A solid wrestling product. And so until the next promotion or promoter comes along and say, hey, I'm going to give you an entirely new look and spin on wrestling, it's going to be the same shit. Or the next big superstar, I Love Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Or the next big storyline, the Bloodline, or Cody's, finishing my story. That's when you're going to see like the wrestling really get hot again, when we see that next fresh hot take or that next fresh hot storyline. And it's not existed right now.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go to, just kind of to wrap it with, because I think we started this by talking like maybe WWE. Cody doesn't have real legit challengers. He doesn't. You brought up Drew earlier. I don't think Drew's credible anymore because of what they're presenting.
But I still do. Like, you could put Drew in a match and I still think that he can win.
I'm saying from what they're presenting to us.
Oh, for sure. There's
Drew's
no reason why
credible.
I would.
Drew's
there's
not
no
winning the
reason
championship next week. We know he's not.
Yep.
If you look at that War Games team, their best opportunity for what we're talking about was to put that rocket ship on Braun Breaker when Seth went out. When he turned on Seth and he told Braun and he told Heyman, either you with me or you're not. And they went with him. They should have found a way to put that world championship on Braun Breaker. I don't care about what your plan is 2 years from now at WrestleMania 43 or 44, and you got it mapped out already. I don't care about none of that. This was the opportunity to completely make him, because he would have been credible, he'd have been believable, and now you have a brand new star on your hands. And ever since he did that, he is the same Braun Breaker now that he was before. Without a championship, they didn't make him. There is nobody on that War Games team that we can look at and say, oh, Cody's going to lose his title to them next month.
Well,
there's not.
That is probably something they will look back at, kind of like how New York Giants is probably going to look back at not when they went for it on the fourth down at the end of the game. I think they might go back and say, we should have put that on him. We should have given him the title. Instead, they gave it to somebody who they knew was going to keep the wrestling good, who could still have a track record of running the company. That's a tall task to ask from somebody. They may say in a year from now, dang, we did drop the ball in that regard. We should have given it to Braun. But I don't hate the fact that they gave it to Punk, because I felt like when I was watching, there was a lot of Bronson aura coming up and rising, that at some points in some weeks, I thought Bronson was a brighter light than Braun Breaker was. So,
well, and what did Cody say in that 90-second promo?
I forgot.
You may be the best out of that group, right? Mm-hmm. And then blah, blah, blah.
Steiner's has never been better than the Rhodes.
That was a bar too.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, I think they might let me get that back. But again, you 10 toes down. You just gotta take it. I just think they went with, on paper, which made the most sense. We are a business. We are a company. We know who their business, and all they care about is making money. Let's give it to CM Punk.
I gotta tell you guys, I know that y'all are super high on Brian. I like Brian too. He ain't ready, man. That's just what it is.
Make him ready though. Like, when we say he's not ready, he doesn't have to be I ain't saying keep the title on for a year, right? And I'm also not saying have him drop it in 30 days. But
he's not that talented. He's not that talented. He's not that act. I know y'all really like him. He's never been that Roman Reigns type to where you're with this guy, we're gonna put the rocket on him before he's really ready for it, because he has that. Brian is going to be a guy that is going to continuously get better and better and better the more you put him in the position. But he's not a guy that you can put it on too soon. He's that guy, you got to nurture this guy. Right? I think they did the right thing by let's just naturally turn him into the guy that we know he's going to be. He's not the guy that's going to turn into that. Because what you don't want to do is put him in a position to where he's not ready and he falls on his ass and he can't recover. That's what you don't want to do.
I didn't watch when Punk won. Did you, E? Like, were people happy? I mean, did it make sense when he won?
Remember, he beat Jay, Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yep.
We didn't watch.
No, that's right. I didn't watch it.
I watched the clips of the match. Yeah.
And so people was naturally excited. And do you feel like this run with Punk, because it's only been probably, 3 weeks then? Mm-hmm. It hasn't been that long. Are people naturally excited for him being the Raw champion?
Yep, people like Punk.
I mean, Punk is him, though, Rhodesia. Like, so that... neither here nor there. Like, without a champion, with the champion.
But that's the point that I'm making, though. I mean, I still feel like right now, if it were me, I probably would have had to put it. I do think this is going to hurt Braun for not being champion. If it was option of him being champion, not being a champion, I do think that there is a sink or swim that he needed to go. But I can also say that he wasn't ready to to be the man of the show. So I can also say that too. So we could just hope that they can continue making him important later on, that he would be the face of the company later on in life. I just don't know, like, could anybody else have gotten a title other than Punk? I guess that's where I'm getting at.
There's a world, and we can wrap after this. There's a world where you don't have to be the face of the promotion because you're a champion right now. There's 36 champions. It ain't like back in the day where you had a Hogan, where you had a Flair. There was legit like 13, 11 belts on WWE, on AEW. Javon Evans. Y'all know how high I am on Javon Evans. Javon Evans in any world could be a world champion 2 to 3 months from now, but he's not going to be because he's not ready, because he hasn't done the PR and he hasn't done this. I get all that. Just because you win the championship, look at it, we take it to real life sports. We just saw about the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons was 2-80 2 years ago. They are right now number 1 in the East. Say if this continues and they finish as the number 1 or number 2 seed in the East, nobody had them pegged to be a champion in the NBA in 2026. But yet, here we are, potentially, if this continues down the line. That don't mean that they're going to be champion in 2027, 2028, 2029. This is wrestling. Like, it just seems like we get to a point at times in wrestling where it's always about they're not ready. And I'm not saying this particularly with Braun Breaker. Now, this is more just general, because we talked about Cody. He don't have no challengers, right? The same guys you keep putting in front of him, he's beat them already, and there's nobody ready because we keep holding people back.
That's a fair comment.
Back. Like, okay.
Well, hold on, slow down though, Matt. This is the world title we're talking about, man. We don't just put anybody as a world champion. I think that devalues that championship. We talk about championship. I did a whole thing on championships a couple weeks ago. That's AEW. Like, if you just give people championships just to try to get them over, at one point does that devalue the championship? Like, this is if you want to do that with the IC title. Do that with the US title. This is the top dog. You don't put these dudes who aren't at the caliber, who probably shouldn't be at the caliber, to give them the championship, hoping that the belt itself is going to give them what they need to get over. That's not the case. The man makes the title. The man makes the title. You can't give Carmelo Hayes the world championship, and then that's going to be a credible thing. When we talk about the Pistons, right, that's a shoot sport. Like, right there, like, no one's giving them wins. Them dudes is earning them boys. Like, right, they are going to earn people's respect because they are dominating the competition, and nobody's giving them shit. Like, you can't take somebody like a work sport like this, take a dude who obviously isn't ready for the spot, give him the championship, and think he's going to get over. Like, at some point, people are going to look at the dude. They're going to be like, you know what? This dude shouldn't have that strap. There's people who are on top that are better than him. What we doing? Like,
so then
you can't.
How do we solve for? Because I could agree with that, but then how would we solve for then the Cody comment? What Matt said, or for that matter, really anybody, like, who's up there with him? What opponent? It was almost like the Roman effect. Like, okay, so you put LA Knight in front of Roman. We knew it was about to happen. The only time that I thought that possibly Roman was going to drop the title was with Drew in Clash at the Castle. And it didn't happen. Like, but who else can we throw in front of Cody?
Man, Rhodesia, you should have been around for the WWF Hulk Hogan era, right? It's because of how you got heels ready is you had like Bronson Reed. This is the right will be like something that you can relate to. Like, this is a dude who's just dominating and destroying everybody he comes across. Like, right? So he becomes like this dude that he's just destroying everybody to. You like, man, this dude is destroying everybody. When he gets to Cody, it might be a problem. That's what happened with Hulk Hogan back in the day. You would have these dudes like the Earthquake. The Earthquake is squashing jobbers. Like, right? He's sitting his fat butt, his big back on all these jobbers, one after another, right? Stacking them. And like, what's the Roman Reigns thing? Stack them and packing them, whatever it is, right? He's just like, they're building these monsters because he got these guys coming from nowhere and they're just destroying everybody, right? And then all of a sudden, they destroy the wrong dude. Out comes Hulk Hogan, right? Here comes Hogan, right? He's here to save the day. Boop! Oh, he gets put on his ass too. Like, right? And then all of a sudden, here go Earthquake, sitting his big back on Hulk Hogan. Now you think that, Hulk Hogan might also get his big back taken out just like everybody else. Like, right? Because you start from, like, the bottom. You make these guys, like, this atrocious, a la Bronson Reed. Something like that. But when you got these dudes, when you got even Steven booking, like, right, when they're barely winning matches, they have no steam. When they have no steam, they get to Cody. Like, okay, look, you ain't him. Like, I know you're gonna get your ass whooped. Like, right? Brock Lesnar, I'll tell you what, Brock Lesnar is somebody who could possibly beat Cody Rhodes for sure.
Sure.
Like, right? For sure.
Okay, so you're right. My bad. Yeah, you're right.
But I still think that this is a cyclical problem. Again, this is not our problem because we don't get paid the big bucks for this. But this is a cyclical problem. It's because in order you have to build young talent. But then who are you going to throw at your A players right now? And that is such a sensitive balancing act because you throw the Bronson Reed up to Cody, you throw it up to him, and we know, okay, based off of girth and size, that maybe he can take on Cody, but he's probably not going to win. And then if you don't book that right, now you just brought his stock all the way down. So it is a vicious cycle, a balancing act.
The WWE has right now an issue with elevating young talent. They don't have a star problem yet.
Right.
But if you look at,
we have plenty of stars. They have plenty of stars.
Correct. Plenty of stars that are in their 40s and such.
Yep.
It's time for them to start focusing on elevating some younger talent. And I think the way you do that is it is okay for them to put them in a prime spot and they win a championship. If it doesn't have to be a world title, I still think you could have gotten away easily with Braun being the world champion, have him drop it at the Rumble or something, and he's in a much bigger space than he is right now.
But again, Stephanie
Matt, look at Dominic Mysterio. All right, way they built him. Right now, he just lost to John Cena. That might be a different conversation to have, right? Just imagine.
They don't count.
Just imagine Dominic Mysterio continuing to be IC champion the way he's been winning. Like, right? He's been cheating. There's a world where he possibly could have fought a CM Punk or a Cody Rhodes, and he could stick out one, right? Because he's been lying, cheating, and stealing the entire time. The crowd's behind him. He's a young talent that they built from the bottom to be a credible heel champion, and he can win in a way. Like, right? So there's a world to where you can have somebody organically go through the process of getting hot to potentially upset someone. He's that type of heel where he could have upset someone just based on his style.
Did at WrestleMania when he won the IC title. Nobody was really picking him. If you look at for what it was presented on TV, Dom probably wasn't the favorite to win that match outside of anything you may have thought with him feuding with the Judgment Day themselves afterwards. And there you go.
He made it. He's making that title. Well, he made it until they put it on John Cena, which I'm not against, by the way. I actually like that they gave him the championship. I feel like that adds an extra layer to the tournament, right? Because like whoever beats John Cena not only retires him, but they're a champion, like right?
But Dom can beat him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Dom can beat him.
Remember the rematch get it back. Right? So, no, I loved it just for the simple fact of you give Cena the title he hasn't had, the IC title, and that does help take some of the stink and stench off of this bad run when he was a heel. You know, I loved it. And Dom held his own, more than held his own in that ring with Cena on the mic. Like Cena didn't baby him at all. Like, I mean, Dom's got it. We've talked about it. He's him. He's gonna continue to be him. So, all right, y'all, we did it. We did it, man. It is 4:20.
Hey.
If you got him, smoke him, right? We don't. I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna try to
So
go to
is
sleep.
that only for smoking then?
Yeah, for the most part. Yep.
Okay, so you can't just like pop a gummy or something at 420?
I mean, I guess you could.
Okay.
For sure. However you decide. And even speaking of, Cheech and Chong got to stop with these emails. I don't know if y'all get emails from Cheech and Chong. And I don't know how many times I've hit the unsubscribe button.
It was just only on my Twitter feed.
T-shirts. like, come on, man. Like, no, it's emails.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know.
never gotten an email.
Yeah, I'll show you next time.
I've got emails about they're trying to delegalize hemp in the States.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening around here, man.
Yeah,
They're probably
Word on
not
the Street is
getting,
we
they're
got out
probably
the
not
right
getting
time.
enough taxes off of it, or not. They're probably not getting enough money off of it. That's probably why they want to delegalize it.
Shout out to special guest Brandon for hopping in, stunting on us, showing his
his phone sunk
indoor
in the
pool,
water
outdoor
pool.
pool.
That's the reason why he didn't get back on. His phone sunk.
Brandon said, man, I can't find nowhere. Ain't nobody hollering around here. But you know what, man? Enjoy the family. That's what
Yes.
it's about. If you can't find a spot where it's quiet, man, treasure those moments.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Treasure those moments for sure. Well, everybody in the United States, have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy. And of course, let us know y'all top 3 foods. Put them in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube. Y'all know everywhere to find us. If you are outside the States, let me know what we should be eating on Thursday. Because I don't know. Rhodesia swears she can still get the macaroni and cheese stuff here. I don't think that's the thing.
Yes, I can.
But
They got pet milk.
I'm
on
gonna,
here.
if you do macaroni and cheese, I'm gonna take a picture so everybody can see.
Please
Put
do.
it before
Please
now.
do.
Yeah.
Rhodesia, do
For
your
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
And I
do
did
your thing.
bring my Santa apron. So
Oh,
I've already.
you
I
did.
told
I was
them like
excited for that.
I was like, y'all got so much clothes. All this shit got to go. We're not bringing all this stuff over here. But I did pack my own Santa apron.
Hey, you making sugar cookies?
I probably will.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the sugar cookies.
Yeah,
God damn.
yeah. I
Yeah,
probably
them sugar
will.
cookies on
I
point,
have
wasn't
to.
they?
We have to leave it for Santa Claus.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all, we out, man. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, of course. Thank y'all for riding with us, for being with us. Ain't nothing changing. We still gonna be here. Of course, we just now gonna split the shifts and do double the entertaining content for you guys each and every week. So y'all know where to find us next week. Just stay tuned though, because we're gonna figure out what days and all that kind of stuff. But that starts next week. What else we got? Survivor Series War Games is this weekend, so enjoy that if you're gonna watch that. Of course, I'm sure all of us will talk about that in some form or fashion next week. And yeah, I got a lot that I want to talk about that's happened over the last like 3 weeks, but I wasn't gonna bore E with it because he's talked about a lot of it already. But if you guys just want to know like the what did I miss show, that's coming because there's a lot of thoughts that I got that I want to hit up. So love y'all, man. Thank you for everything that y'all have done and been there with us. We'll be back next week to give y'all more shenanigans. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this show where I was like, it was like 45-minute mark. Like we gotta talk about wrestling because we could have went all day and not talk about wrestling because I had some other things I wanted to bring up too. So maybe we'll do that on another episode. So we out, y'all. Peace.